Well, hey there, folks. Meteorologist Matt Barentine. We've had the fog around. We've got warm temperatures, near record highs the next several days. It's been quite the start to February, especially considering how bitterly cold we were in January. We're on the total opposite end of the spectrum. Today is pretty quiet, high pressure in place along the Gulf Coast. That means light winds. We've also got a lot of clouds out there, so unfortunately it's going to be a fairly cloudy day. I think we'll see some breaks in the afternoon, but I think it's going to be more clouds than anything else here on your Wednesday. Temperatures will get pretty warm, well up into the 70s. I'm going with 76 in Mobile. The record high is 80, so I don't think we quite get to the records, but we're going to be close. I mean, it's going to be a warm day, except for areas right by the water. See, Fairhope high of 69. Now that would be west of Highway 98 by the water. If you're east of Highway 98, you're more inland in Fairhope, you'll definitely be in the 70s. So what the deal is, Dauphin Island probably only see a high in the upper 60s. Probably some of our other coastal areas on the island, say Santa Rosa Island, upper 60s for highs. And what's happening is that the water temperatures are still quite cool. I mean, it's about 60 degrees in the bay right now. The Mobile River, where the rivers, of course, they come down from central Alabama, and at the Mobile State docks in the river before the water spills out into the bay, it's 53 degrees. All right, so that water in the very northern part of the bay, up around the delta, is in the low 50s. It's cold. It warms up as it goes south in the bay around Dauphin Island. It's about 60. But that has a real impact on the weather around the water. So any little breeze off the water is going to be cooled off. It's like natural air conditioning. So it could easily be 10, even 15 degrees colder in coastal areas by the water than the inland areas. So it makes a big difference out there at this time of year when we have water temperatures that are as cold as they are. It's also helping to form some of that fog. When you have those really cold water temperatures, you can get fog even in the middle of the day. So I'm expecting that we'll see some fog at times out there in the Bayway Causeway, because keep in mind that water down there below the Bayway, it's once again, it's in the low to mid 50s. And then that, you see these air temperatures in the 70s flowing over that, and that air will cool off over the water, and then the water droplets will condensate and form fog. So even in the middle of the day, you can get fog out there on the Bayway Causeway because of that. Here is your evening planner for tonight. I'm sorry, I don't know why it just decided not to load there. All right, well, it took me back a step or two. All right, let me get back to the evening planner. It looks fine out there for tonight. Let me just put it that way. Our temperatures will be very mild. Oh, there it goes. In the 60s, so if you've got some plans after work, you won't find any issues there. Then guess what's going to happen overnight tonight going into tomorrow morning? We are going to get more fog developing. So this will develop again tomorrow morning. Very similar to what we've seen the last couple of mornings. The only real question mark is, where does it get thickest? Where do we see the most fog? Check in with me in the morning. I'll let you know how things are looking, so if it's causing any issues out there on the roads. Here's your day planner for tomorrow. This actually happens to be fully. Once again, fog in the morning is expected, and temperatures in the 70s in the afternoon. You can see the rain chance is 10%, so I'm not expecting any rain. Here's how it looks the next 3 days. Takes you to the end of the week. Very warm. Near record highs. In fact, Thursday and Friday, the record highs are in the upper 70s, so we could easily tie or break record highs in the next couple of days. Then we get to the weekend, and this is another good illustration of what happens with the temperatures around the water. So highs on Saturday for most of us will be in the mid to upper 70s. It'll be a very warm day. But on Dauphin Island, it'll be at least 10 degrees cooler. Because remember, Dauphin Island is surrounded by water. It's an island, and all that water is about 60 degrees. So as the wind moves along, it's going to be going over that cooler water, and Dauphin Island will be impacted by that. So here's the deal. I'm going to mention this a few times on air today. If you're going to the parade on Dauphin Island, maybe you're in Mobile or somewhere else, you go outside. It's in the 70s. You look at your forecast. It's in the 70s. Hey, it's going to be a warm, beautiful day. So you put on t-shirts, shorts, head on down to the island. You're going to be cold because once you get to the island, there will be a bit of a breeze. The temperatures will be 10 degrees chillier. And especially if you're in the shade, you don't have a good sunny spot, your spot is in the shade that you're watching the parade from, you will be cold if you're in just t-shirts and shorts. So make sure you grab a light, doesn't have to be heavy at all, a very light jacket, the lightest thing you own just about, you'll probably be fine. But just be aware, you will be a little chilly if you dress for mid 70s. and you get down to Dauphin Island and it's in the mid to upper 60s, and you're in the shade especially, you will feel that chill. So it's just something to keep in mind. Looking at the long range forecast, this is from the Climate Prediction Center, where they just kind of look at what we're seeing for the next week and a half. This goes to the middle of the month, February 15th. And you can see in our area, we're still clinging to warmer than average temperatures. There will be some colder temperatures up the line that will eventually get to us towards the end of the month. Probably the last third of the month will be chilly here, but next week and a half will not be. So for next several days going into the weekend, we're going to be way above average. In fact, we're going to be near record highs, if not tying or breaking records on a couple of days. Next week, it does cool off into the 60s. But the thing is, it still stays above average most days next week, even though it does cool off a little bit. So through that long range forecast, generally we are going to be above average with our temperatures. Once again, I'm meteorologist Matt Barentine. Have yourself a wonderful day. Stay tuned to Fox 10 for all the latest on your weather.